actually, it was really great. And you know what? It was just, it's not even a year ago. It was, I think, October last year. And he and Darcy, and then I and my sort of whole 80s horror gang, we were all at the same convention. And they're going to kill me. I got the name right now. But it's, you know, not far from where I live. So I'm, you know, in the South. And yeah, it was really great because, I mean, I know everybody thinks, well, everybody in the business, you know, they all have lunch together at least once a year. It's like if you don't know somebody personally, you may know their work, you may really like them, you may really think they're great, but I had never met them in person. So we met at a con we both were at, and it was very great. And so I'm not shy. So, you know, I just walked over and I'm like, you might not know me. And they looked at me like, are you really stupid? Did we just talk about your movie? So it's great. And they are great. And they are who they really are, but at the same time, they're bigger than that too. So they were so sweet and nice to me. No, but you know, I have so many different kind of things that I did, and it just kind of goes in like a cycle. So right now, even more than ever, and trust me, I'm so thankful. People are talking about demons, but I did my first con, I think, convention. My agent once said to me, you know, new people don't know what con means. I did my first convention, and that's where I met Casey, the homicidal homemaker, in 2009. And so I've been the people that like me, love me, whatever. We all been in this for like a minute. But there are like people, you know, from day one. So before, I mean, the movie was the movie. Then the movie went away, and then VHS and DVD stores actually died, and then there was streaming. But all in that little gap, there was really nothing for me to do other than write and do other things. But all the people that like me, like you know, I'm not so old. I'm a MySpace girl, but you know, the next ones after that, I've been on there since then, and the people found me. I didn't even know I was a thing. Yes, always from the beginning. I mean, you know, I've got some sort of social dyslexia, I'll tell you. I never understand what the rest of the world is talking about. I'm just sort of like on my own thing. So yeah, somehow, you know, I definitely decided that the best way to try to be a director was to be an actress. But no, I applied to Centro Sperimentale di Cinematografia from New York, where I was living in my little tiny fledgling, but it was okay, modeling career. And I applied from America. And at that time you could do two parts of the exam were written. And the third part of the exam was you had to appear in person before the bank of scholar judges. So I passed, because I was doing stuff. I was doing little things in New York already. And so I passed that stage, and I flew to Rome for the contest. And not the contest, for the entrance exam. And much to my chagrin, and much to after a lot of hullabaloo, like people had dinner parties and stuff for me when I got there. Like everybody thought I was going to get in. And I hadn't acted. I wasn't even thinking of being an actress yet. It's just like I've always done like the arty kind of people, and I knew a lot of them from New York. So when I showed up, it was like, yeah, it's some off, you know, Broadway girl, but she's but she's in the game. You know, she's real. So that was kind of like fun and shocking, you know, in the 80s, some American Oregonian black girl showing up. So it was really shocking to me and devastating when they put the names on the post that no, I didn't get in. I wasn't accepted. And from there, I was like, well, I can't really go back home. I've subletted my place. What do I do now? And that's sort of step by step, and, you know, good luck is always on my side. Thank you. But, you know, one person told me this, somebody else told me that. I got an agent, and in a relatively short period of time, I did Texas Gladiatori anno, 2020. The Texas Gladiators, the year 2020. You know, other people were saying, you know, they did bigger, different kind of movies. But, you know, I'm very happy. So I was only there a few months, and I got, you know, Texas Gladiators. So listen, it's all good. You know, I met the 7 biggest, most famous Italian directors at this big event, literally maybe my second week in Rome, but I had been in Milan before. And they all kind of rushed towards me because I'm sure they all thought, I was this new face, this new actress in town. And they say, ma che fai, che fai, and which means, what do you do? What do you do? And I says, oh, I want to direct. You never heard a silence of men just go by. And that was sort of it. Like, no, that wasn't happening. And a lot of women, and it was, Lena Wertmüller was still around. There's always been women directors in television, and there were other women directors that were doing things in Italy. But yeah, it's a boys' club. But that's not really what it was about for me, and that's not even sort of an issue for me. My issue was here in North America, for my look and my age, meaning young 20s and hot, the only thing I ever got was prostitute, hooker, girl with a drug problem, hooker with a heart of gold. I mean, my mom saw my resume at one point. She goes, can't they ever cast you for something nice? And it wasn't in the foreground of my mind, but I definitely knew the legends, the stories of African Americans that had gone to Europe and had careers, where here it was like kind of creepy. And no, this isn't like a million years ago. Hey kids, I'm not talking about 1890. I'm talking about, not very long ago. It just was a better place to be for me. And it worked out great. I mean, I left America in the 80s and I came back in the 90s. Like, wow. For me, it's like I lived the Twilight Zone. Like, I missed a whole decade, but I loved the one I got. By the time I did Demons, I was probably in Rome already 5 years or so. No, I mean, from a very sexy but short walk-on in Texas Gladiators, by the time I did Demons, I'm on that audition, for a main speaking role. I mean, I really worked my way up. And we all did. We're all sort of a gang. I mean, not the directors, they're older than us, but even at that point, what was older? 40? 39. I'm like, that's an old guy. Look at Dario, he's old. They were young. But in the context of, we all came up together when I was on Texas Gladiators 2020, the third AD, which means the third assistant director, normally it's the way to get somebody really clever and really smart to basically come work for free, more or less, and help the director. But the benny that they all get is that they get to direct the extras, or the 2 or 3 liners. So who's the first person that ever directed me? Michele Suave. I mean, he was third director and I was barely above an actress. And we all grew up together in the business. So by the time I do Demons, who's first assistant director to not only Lamberto, but also to Dario, Michele Suave, goes on to do The Church and Cemetery Men and all the stuff that he does. We grew up together. We're all a gang of, Urbano Barberini, Carlo Zini, Natasha, like the American Girl. Like, no one here knows what a huge actress phenomenon she was for a movie called Soap and Water, or Acqua Sapone, if you want to look up the real title. The lead in our little movie had just been on the biggest blockbuster ever of an Italian film also, and playing like a girl under 15 or something like that. So, yeah, I mean, the Italians are amazing. I was in a movie directed by Dino Risi with Ugo Tognazzi. I mean, I'm a snake charmer in the royal court of King Dagobert. So essentially, I'm dancing. I'm dancing in shares with the snake, and it was a live snake, by the way. It was huge. And they made a personally sized for me wig of the period, like with the little Greek curls and it all going down. And that's just me in this little part. When the Italians, for makeup, special effects, wigs, they're better than anybody. It's great. So no, Sergio did not have me under layers of makeup by any stretch of the imagination. Or special effects, because there was 2 other ladies also that did the painting, but it was all painted on every time. So I don't have any kind of rubber mask on for good or bad. So that's all me. But all of the veins, all of the stuff that was painted on every single time, fresh. These were painted. You guys remember this? Yeah. Anyway, these were painted every single day, every time I went to set, and it was between 6 and 7 hours every time. So when you're watching the movie, everybody, a little bit later, look at the nails. Look what they did. I mean, they go in crazy things. And the big veins, you know, I was like 21 then. I had no veins. So yeah, they did a big work all the time. Jerry Lewis, Italy on acid. So I like bright, steady, hot, primary colors, but everything is very, very sharp. Very, very sharp, very, very clean. There's nothing, for my aesthetic, I don't like it to look like I barely got this one together. Because I made so many little shorts before that it looks like that, but they're still really good. But no, I'm very glossy, let's put it that way. I'm very architecturally glossy. And I wonder sometimes how, maybe I should have gone into advertising, because a lot of times, you know, can I do it one more time? Tell me what you think. I'm like, I'm looking at the set. I'm looking at the, not really. But, you know, I kind of am very taken by set and placement, because I believe, having been an actress for so long, if I'm standing so long in small films, if I'm standing there and I believe where I'm standing, I'll believe what I'm saying. And on that note, you know, Demons, the section I'm in, was shot in a real cinema, in real Rome, you know, it really is Italy. And cinema was going out of business, and we could destroy it because it was going to be demolished after we were done. I'm not saying the next day, but after we were done, it was already going to be sold. It was already going to be demolished. So when we tear up those chairs, or we're jumping on the chairs, or, you know, even Fiore that's crawling, yeah, they opened the aisle up so the camera can be on the top, but they're crawling on the floor, man, on their belly, and you know. Whatever. So yeah, so that I learned that a lot. When I can, location. And if you're swift and smooth, actually it's a lot faster, because you only get so, I mean, the light can only go here or there, because this is the room, it's not moving. You're not moving the back wall. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. By the way, Joe Bob, come on, you know. The B-side's the good side. No, I absolutely, I am not even halfway pretending that it was a smooth ride or that it was easy and I didn't have many a week eating crackers and ketchup, or, you know, I lived a lot of places by myself and just figured it out or learned the languages. Like I go back and forth between New Orleans and Japan now, and only the pandemic is I'm stuck in New Orleans. I have an apartment in Kobe. I mean, you know, so I'm not saying that things have not been extremely stressful, but basically, yeah, this is exactly what I planned, and I'm very, very lucky. So, actors and other entertainment folk listening, when I was coming up and going to acting school in New York, downtown, there was no concept that you were doing this to get famous. And there's nothing wrong with fame. I like this fame. But if your objective is fame, we used to say go to California. And if your objective is to build the body of work, because not everybody is super, super pretty or whatever, there's lots of layers of careers. So I was always told, you know, try as hard as you can, but the real concept is to build the body of work. So am I exactly where I thought I'd want to be? Yeah, I mean, I'm a director. I'm not a director of 100 million grossing movie, but I'm a director. Did I want to be an actress? Yep. I'm happy with my career. Worked out just fine. You know, I'm not shooting up anything. I didn't kill anybody, you know. Do I get to write? Did I get to go to film school? Did I get to live all around the world? Yep. Everybody enjoy the movie. You have to use this clip now for the movie. We're coming for you. Ciao. Thanks for tuning in.